Greetings and welcome to another episode of. Now we do this once a month. We decided to do this basically once a month, and what this is called collecting therapy. So I'm glad to have you guys here with us. Again, we do this because it is a collective effort for a lot of us who are in a community who deal with things on a daily basis. Like I said, I wanted to create this, sort of surrounding more so mental health, the mental well-being of individuals in a collecting community, but it kind of deals with so many different things. Like, it's not dealing with only just your mental space, but your space and everything that kind of, it's like your cohabitants in a sense. So we try to actually have these discussions here with everybody who tunes in. I decided to do this once a month just to kind of air some things out, to give people space to air things out, and just to kind of talk about some of the things that they're going through. I've devoted today's episode to none other than space, how we deal with space in our homes, whether it's an apartment, an efficiency, a home, a townhouse, a flat, wherever it is, how you manage your space, because we know that in so many different instances, it does cause a problem. As far as how you're going to maneuver things around, you're getting new things in all the time. Sometimes your space can even limit the stuff that you get in that you really, really want. So we're going to talk about, and also how spacing affects your significant other, because sometimes they want to do certain things, they want to maneuver around, and they just don't have the space to do it because you're taking up so much space, or you may have a certain space that they want to invade. So we're going to talk about that amongst other things. But before we do, I'm going to bring in my guy who we're going to have this discussion together, because it's like the best person that I can bring in here to help me talk about this. My man, Late Bloomer, what's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, chat? What's going on, Leo? Happy to talk shop, talk a little bit about some interesting topics, stuff that we don't ever really discuss or have to take the time to discuss. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Talk some topics tonight, and hopefully you
Yeah.
guys out in chat are having a good time and
Mm-hmm.
beating that Monday. You know, those Mondays is always kind of whack, a little whack, but again,
Yeah.
hopefully you guys are having a good night, and hopefully we have a good conversation tonight. Add some value to this conversation.
Definitely, man. We're going to try to definitely have some value to this conversation, because I think this is something worth talking about, because I think we've been talking about it for a few days now. We always talk about the stuff that we're getting in, and how when it's a bigger piece, it's like, well, I want it, but at the sacrifice of what we were just talking about this last night, as a matter of fact, on Take Your Position. Whereas, you want to have that bark speeder, you want to get that stuff in, but it's just too big. It's way too big to actually have in your collection because of spacing, how your units may look. And it's like, how do I kind of work around it? A lot of people don't really have that level of space. You might have like a smaller apartment or a smaller room. You want certain things, you want vehicles, but you can't get them because, again, space is an issue. Now, I'm fortunate enough to have a basement within my home that I'm able to kind of maneuver around. But even down here, I'm running out of space. Even down here, I have to deal with the simple fact that, I have a significant other who has to come down here, wash clothes, has to gather things. Sometimes she wants to have a space down here. So it's all about how we maneuver around those things and compromise. And that thing does kind of mess with your psyche, bro. It really, really does. Because again, like, you're always thinking about the next move. You're thinking about, if I get this figure in, where can I place it?
The
How
word is expansion.
Yeah, bro.
You want to expand, right?
Yeah.
I have a large closet because when we moved in here, we got this space. The guy that owned it, his name was Mr. Ernst, and he had cancer, so that's why he was selling, because he was gonna hop into his RV. His wife already passed away. Prior to us even meeting him or knowing about this place, and so he sold it to us on a good deal before it hit the market. And the room I'm currently in, this is a study. This is a study converted into what is kind of like a bedroom, like. But the thing is that where my TV is and all of my stuff, like, that is what the closet used to be.
Okay, got you.
What Mr. Ernst ended up doing was getting like a stand-up closet or armoire. I think I'm pronouncing it wrong, but like basically just like drawers. You open it up and then boom, you have compartments where it houses clothes. But that thing is very large and it has a very large carbon footprint in my room. So there it is. Okay, I want to collect. I want to get these new things that are coming out, but also where do I put them? Do I put them in this big, this is my bookshelf where I have a few other figures that are, my video game line? Do I sell some of my book collection, my actual book collection, so I can make more space for it? Do I go and buy a smaller closet, reduce the footprint, and then maybe I can get a garage rack, or I could get another case over there, a detolf over there. Like those are things that I'm sure plenty of you that are watching, plenty of you out there have had to go through these mental exercises, and sometimes it could be like filled with anxiety when you don't know exactly where you're going to go, where you could go, because of how limited you are with space. So that is the thing that I'm constantly trying to fight and understand and struggle with and see what what possible solutions work for me. All of that layered on top of making payment plans for figures, right? Paying off figures, or pre-ordering figures, or I might want to in other projects such as like, man, I want to go right now. I'm working on getting a Puerto Rican flag, a 1/6 Puerto Rican flag for Miles Morales. Yeah, and like to do that, I have to go buy another product and then take that out of that product and then try to sell that product back because I don't want that. Space for it. I'm not just gonna chuck it in the garage because I know somebody probably out there will want that. So it's just things like that that's just constantly always swirling in my mind. At least the last 3 months it's been like this. So again, if you can relate, I know people are out there, but it is tough. Even like you said, Chewy's bandolier. He says our basement locker at my condo is 97% boxes. Yeah.
You can't. There's no maneuvering around that because the more boxes we get in, we don't think. And here's the thing, because and this is why some people, which I can understand, they get rid of shipper boxes. Now I can understand getting rid of shipper boxes. The only thing that I can't understand is getting rid of art boxes, because you're getting rid of that art boxes. For some people who like to resell, the art box is mostly important. For some people who don't really worry about selling, okay, cool. But at the same time, what if you're moving? How do you excavate? You have to basically move and put that stuff into a box. And how do you, and I'd rather have it in a secure space. We're going to get into that in just a second because I want to talk about that. And before I actually introduce the chat, of course, I got to do the usual, which is, give a shout out to some of the places where I get these figures from. Some people call it paying the bills. I say paying homage because there's no kickback. We got my man over there, Ray at Underground Figures. Of course, you already know and love my guy. Definitely reasonably priced when it comes to shipping and handling. On top of that, if you are looking for it, he got it. He will get it for you. Also, all you got to do is just hit him up. He'll respond in such a quick time. No NRD on figures. You just tell him that Lael sent you, and he'll definitely take care of you. Again, you can see he has the latest and greatest. He has some Grail pieces as well. And again, if he don't have it, he'll find it for you. So definitely give him a shout out. Ray over there at Underground Figures. Let him know that I actually sent him out to you. Also, we got my man Ray from Hawk Wars Toys. That's my man, Big Ray, all day, every day. Making sure that not only do you get the figure that you're looking for, but he'll make sure you get a sticker and a comic book to boot to basically make sure that it's source material for the figure that you're getting. You can read up. Again, he gives you the entire package, reasonably priced, NRD. On top of that, he gets your stuff out in a timely manner. As a matter of fact, I think I'm getting another Reva from him. So I had that actually coming. So shout out to him. Yeah, I had to get a second one, bro. You already know what time it is. I need both looks, and I'm supporting the cause. You already know what it is. You already know.
Put your money where your mouth is, man.
Exactly. That's what I'm definitely doing. On top of that, we got my man, and this is just basically his shop here. You can actually find it on eBay with all his figures, things that you might be looking for. I haven't refreshed this particular page, but I know he still got some things that are out there. You can even look at some of the new stuff he got. He got that C3PO. Bro, look at all that. Look at the stuff he has. If you are looking for a Green Goblin, you can get it through him as well. If you're looking for, look at that, bro. Bro, that Black Widow, definitely. And this is from Civil War Black Widow. You can get that. He got a bunch of oh man, a bunch of grails that you can get through my guy. All you have to do is hit him up, and he will definitely take care of you. Shout out to my man Ray. Last but not least, my man Watch His Six over here, Comic Relief and Comic Collectibles. Definitely, he will get you the comics you're looking for, statues, 1/6 scale collectibles, all good stuff. All you got to do is hit him up, and he'll take care of you as always. Again, I just always want to give a shout out to some of these brick and mortars and these individuals out there who do us well. So again, it's always good to pay them homage and say what's up to them and the people who supply us the stuff that we need.
Listen, after Valentine's Day, I'm looking for a Django, baby.
You already know.
Make sure I got some money left, but yeah.
you know, that's what I'm saying. After Valentine's Day, I got 2 birthdays and a Valentine's Day, bro. You know what I mean? Toya's birthday, her daughter's birthday, and Valentine's Day coming up. So you already know how that is, bro. That's gonna hurt. Anyway, let me shout out everybody in the chat. We got Chewy's Bandolier here. Thank you for being here. I may need to invest in an off-site storage unit. Yes, sir. You already know.
But hey, Ben, let me catch you though, because there has been some shady shits going on with storage units across America.
Selling
people just going in there, popping locks, walking out with no resistance, man.
Yep.
And selling it and then reselling it back to potentially us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is important that, you know, if you find a place like that, it is on site 24/7 security and you feel comfortable, or you go through other means. That is as simple as I would put that out there. Go ahead, Leo.
Definitely, man. Nah, that's what's up. Thanks for the advice on that, because that is true. We got Wills 305. Hey, what's up, Leo? I have a storage unit for Hot Toys boxes. Another storage unit. A lot of people have that. Justin McFly. I think today is Justin McFly's birthday.
Yes, sir. It is.
It is his 44th birthday. Everybody out there in the chat, if you can join me in the saying happy Earth Day, happy Born Day, happy Life Day to my man Justin McFly on his birthday. Shout out to you. I hope you are having such a good day. It ain't just a day. This is your whole week. This whole week is dedicated to you because it is your life day. This your life week. So shout out to you, my man. And
man, he got he has an uncle that is very, very talented, Mr. Moffett. I want Justin. Look, you need to put Leo onto your uncle, what he's done. He's been in a lot of good stuff, and now Marvelous. While I'm in there giving my brother praise, he talking about Django on sale for $217.
You already know. You already know. We got my baby sis in here, man. My baby sis all day, every day. Appetite for collectibles. You already know how it is. So glad to have you in here with us, Nilda. She says happy birthday. She hooked her little emoji. That's dope. I like that. That's dope. I like how you doing. I see what you're doing, baby sis. All day. Thank you for being here, and glad to see you. Glad to see you. At every con, you could probably hit her up. I think I'm going to see her at Awesome Con here in a few months. So definitely can't wait to see that. Who else we got? Wills 305 is in the building. Justin McFly is out there as well. Thank you for being here. Marvelous, my man. You already know, man. Marvelous
no good.
Reviews. Ain't no damn good. Come on, my God. We got Mark Lee in the building. What's going on with you, man? Thank you for being here as always. We got Holland Toy Flicks. Good evening, all. Hope all is well on this Friday night. What? I wish. I definitely wish. Dale A, what up, Leo and Bloomer? What's going on?
Dale A, what up, man?
Definitely. Thank you for being here. Ren's Talentino art boxes. Bro, I'm telling you, don't get rid of those art boxes. You already know that. Ren's Talentino is at home painting with the heels of his feet. So thank you for being here, bro. As always, Who else we got here? We got my man Malika Mabane, smooth ass Malak in the building. Thank you for being here. We got my man AJ Grusa. After my next 4 module cases show up, I'm personally going to have to get really creative with my figures where I put them. We're going to talk about that in a little bit too, because module cases and Costa cases, which aka garage garage units, play a very important role too. And we're going to talk about ways that you can maximize on that as well. Who else do we actually have in it? Lumi, the matriarch in the building. She
What
is
up,
the
girl?
official ruler of Figure Flex Friday. So glad to have her here. And yes, my Bayonetta will be here on Wednesday. I'm excited about that. I cannot wait to get that in. So definitely I'm excited. We
holding down the fort for her this week, right?
Hell
Friday?
yeah, she ain't gonna be here.
Yeah.
I ain't getting that shit. Cam in the building. I ain't getting that shit in the building. Thank you for being here.
We still need that shirt link. I don't care if it's at Target. Yeah, give me that link.
Get that link. You already know, bro. Who else do we actually have here? Yomo's in here. Malika, my man Malachi the Dawn is in here. Thank you for being here. Ethan Johnson. Hey, everybody. Hope all is well. Thank you for being here. Richie's in the building. Thank you for being here. Adam Kennedy is in here. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here, my bro. It's always good to see you. Who else do we have in here with us? Funky Code Santa is in the building. Hello, Mr. Rockwell. How you doing, my guy? Thank you for being here with us as always. Mark P, what's up? What's going on with you, bro? As always. Who else do we got in here? I think we actually covered in Chewy's Bandolay. We covered everybody in here so far. Windman 42 in the building. Thank you for being here. MB Dice is in the building. Thank you for being here as always. We make sure we got to everybody. I think we just got everybody. If I didn't get you, shout me out and I'll shout you out. So I want to make sure I cover everybody that's up in here. My man Mars Academy is in the building. What's going on with you all day, every day? Thank you for being here. Iron Star Killer is in the building. Thank you for being here. What's going on with you, my man? Is all day, is every day. Thank you for being here. But yeah, so again, like right off the top, we've been talking about this, bro, because it makes perfectly good sense. We're talking about the simple fact that space plays a major role in what we deal with universally and how it affects the psyche. Like sometimes the thing is, the reason why I bring this up is because we know that there's a lot of figures out there that people want to grab. There's a lot of figures out there that people want, but they can't get it because of space. So they have to really kind of work around and limit what they basically do. You know what I mean? Like, you want like a lot of us want in a Jazz Inc. Batmobile. A lot of us basically want a diorama set, but we can't do it because we're limited based on space. So we have to be as creative as possible. So when people are bringing up module cases, for example, it's the best way. So module cases in the garage shelves are a gift and a curse. For people who basically have DTOF shelving units, if you want to minimize, you can get a garage shelf or you can basically get a DTOF and just get creative. You might basically be someone who doesn't do a lot of, specialization when it comes to dioramas. So you just want to actually have your figures side by side based off of the theme, based off of the series, the IP, whatever it may be. So a lot of people get those module cases and they'll have them in there. With DTOFs, the problem with that is you want to create certain things, but you don't want to also look like it's overstuffed. So with the garage shelves and the module cases or module space itself, it helps to create that level of space that you actually need and the quality. But the curse is if you dive into getting so many, because the thing is, the more space you have means the more figures you're going to tend to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's I think that is like the good thing about it is that we don't have unlimited space and you get everything. And I think it dumbs down the experience of the fact that, I can get everything. Why should I value? You start to lose value in these things, that perceived value, not economic value or, numerical value, but that perceived value, you start to lose that. I think that's the best way. I'm glad that happens for all of us so that we can see individualized collections out there that reflect the individual or individuals that own those pieces. So that's why we get all Marvel collections, all DC collections, all Star Wars collections, original trilogy, prequel. I know there's no whole lot on that, but it's still coming on the way. Original OT, prequel, Mandoverse, a lot of these things, sequel, right? A lot of these things are kind of differentiators for a lot of collections. So I think space also helps us. We have to give it credit. It also helps us organize our thoughts and organize and help us understand what we truly like, what we're truly passionate about, the stuff that we truly connect to.
Yeah, it does. And the thing is, it's like also when we're controlling our space, it's sort of like we have to also be mindful to others. We have to be mindful to those who, especially like our significant others, the ones that, we have created this atmosphere with, who's been along for the ride, but mindful that again, we're not taking away from their endeavors as well. The space that they've organized, and we've been we been prone to like see a vision based on our own endeavors, but sometimes we have a tendency to forget, okay, are we impeding on someone else's space? You know what I mean? Am I invading somebody else's situation? How can we compromise at that point? How can we create, more of a compromise, around, okay, you collect, or you do what you do, I don't want to invade you. I was talking to you about this beforehand. Like, I'm down here in the basement. So this is my office space, my workspace, as well as my collecting, venture, and everything that I have is down here.
This is that's your man cave. That's your
That's
back
my
cave.
man cave. My TV's right there. I have I have some detox that are sitting right over here as well. Of course, some detox back here, 2 garage shelves. I'm going to have a third one here behind me in a few days. So I have things that I'm pretty much kind of working on a bit. But again, it's a process of saying, all right, how do I kind of arrange moving some of the stuff around here to where it comes downstairs? Sometimes if I have a live show, if I'm working, she's washing clothes. I know people can hear it. She's washing clothes, she's drying, but also being mindful of the space that she needs. You know what I mean? Because again, she has space. She has things that she needs to do. Sometimes those things collide and clash, and then we have to compromise. You know what I mean? And again, it plays on people. It plays on like your relationships as well. They support what we do, but are we, in a sense, supporting what they do? Are we supporting the space that they are? So then it becomes like a space where we have to compromise. But my mind always goes to, well, you got the living room. You've completely redecorated the living room. You've redecorated the bathrooms. You can redecorate the bedroom if you want to. All I have is down here. But if I'm looking at it from that aspect, is it realistic? Do you think that's realistic, bro?
No. Not when you're dealing with women. No. It's so multi-dimensional with them, especially living with them and inhabiting the same space with them. And it's about understanding, exactly who you are and who we are as people, as individuals, and knowing how to navigate that. And that's just a portion of learning a person, like how our parents learn us, and I know exactly what you're gonna do because I just know you. It's just that is the same thing that has to happen. In a marriage, in a relationship, anything that's healthy. Chewy says, it sounds a little cheesy, but it's the support of my wife that it keeps me from stressing. She likes how happy this makes me. That is somebody that's truly selfless and really truly wants to see you happy. Right. we see it typed on the internet. I'm not sure if it's true, and we've heard it, in backdoor rooms, especially in this hobby, in terms of people saying, yeah, my wife doesn't like what I'm collecting, doesn't approve of it, or my significant other doesn't approve of it. They're jealous, and that's also kind of putting, mucking up the relationship, mucking up the marriage, if you will. And so these are things that you have to, like Mark Lee says right underneath that, you have to strike off that balance, man.
Yep.
It is
Yep.
100%. And I think that balance goes both ways. We can be very, like I always say, this hobby is isolating. Even when you are surrounded by people, you can be isolated in this and staring at the case or staring at a figure for minutes, maybe almost to an hour on end, just trying to figure out, do I got that pose right? Do I like this selection? Does this fit my, I've had those nights where I'm constantly going into the case and I'm like, oh, I don't get down to bed till like 1 o'clock, 2 a.m. Like, my mind just ran. My mind ran, and I don't know where this energy came from, but it just like possessed me to do all this stuff. And
because it's you're maneuvering around. It's like your head becomes like, when we're in that element, it's just a constant rotation in the mind of ideas.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when I was like a teenager, and after my grandpa had passed away, my grandma used to live up the road from us, so it was just like maybe a 5-minute, 5-10 minute walk, and I get to my grandma's. Very blessed to even have that. Acknowledge that is a privilege for a lot of folks. That is a privilege, for a lot of folks, because not people live that close to their folks, especially grandparents. And so I kind of just made sure I spent time with her, and I would bring my Xbox. This is really where I started gaming, man. And I'd be up chatting with the homies and doing all types of stuff, and not get to bed till like 3-4 a.m. And then how I like to go to sleep, I go to bed, I'm getting loud, I'm turning the TV on, and I would sleep in the same bed with my grandma for a bit until she got tired of me coming in at 4 a.m., turning the TV on, leaving the TV on, going to sleep while the TV is on. She ain't grow up like that. She ain't never like TV's off, the room's dark, and that's just never who I've been. So she over time, she was just like, she had another guest room. She'd go to sleep in that guest room. I'd get that big bed and lay down, go to sleep, turn the TV on, whatever, do my thing. She turned it off. By the time I knock out, she probably wake up in the middle of the, but what I'm saying there is like a person that loves you, that enjoys your company, that you live with or you're sharing space with. They're learning you. They're learning your habits and taking the time to understand you. And so those are the things that, even if my guys are out there, they're single, I'm semi-single. I don't know. Maybe after Valentine's Day, probably put a bow on this damn thing. But that is something that I implore anybody out there to look for, whether that is in a relationship or with a friend.
Look for somebody who's going to, support what it is you do and be and Toya is, bro, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have started this channel. Like literally, like if it wasn't for her, pushing me to do things like this, I would have never gone live. I would have never participated in this particular space because it was a chance that I took. But she was the one who ushered, pushed me towards that. It has been extremely supportive. So in my mind, the way of giving back is to say, okay, what can we do, or what can I do to kind of compromise and give you the space that you need? And that's why I took the basement space to do what it is I do, because upstairs I want her to have her zen spot. Is
it possible? Hear me out. Is it possible to take the dryer and washer unit and put it and bring it and put it up there?
No.
Okay.
No. And here's the thing, bro. I don't mind it. Like I don't mind it, because I tell people, like, if you hear it in the background, that's a little ambience. That's
Yeah.
mood music to me because I'm so used to it, and I know that she needs to do it. And sometimes when she do it, I can camouflage it by just turning the music up or,
Right.
just doing certain things and stuff like that. If the washing machine's on, you'll never know. The problem is when the dryer's running and that system goes off at the end, that's when you can hear it. But the thing is, it's
See,
like, yeah, go ahead.
I would say that I don't mean to cut you off, but really
Yeah.
it's just a thought that comes to my mind. I think what I'm hearing, it just takes another layer of dialogue and conversation. Hey, I'm about to about to wash. Are you doing a show tonight? Right? Then that allows you to say, okay, she wants to wash. How much is it? Can then you can ask her, okay, can it hold off? And then she tells you, okay, no, I can't. This is why X, Y, Z. Like, okay, then that's when you can make the modifications down there or for whatever your show that's going on. It's just another layer of communication. Some people don't see it like that. Some people, it's hard for them to make compromises, whether that is you want to call them selfish, whether you want to call them single for forever, because that's what your ass is going to be if you can't make no compromises. So at that point, it's not going to be a woman, male, or a significant other. It's going to be a dog or a cat with selection, because that's what you're gonna live and die with.
Yeah.
If you can't make compromises, you will be stuck in the water,
Bro, that's definitely it, bro. Nice, my man. You can't have a good man without a good woman besides them. Yeah, definitely, bro. Like that's how it's been. Toya, for our first, so when our first Christmas together, our first no, it was our second Christmas together, I believe. Yeah, it was our second Christmas together. Is when, because she knew that I had the Black Panther figure. I had, both T'Chaka and T'Challa. I had Shuri that was on the way. I had both Killmonger that was on the way. And she's the one who got online and searched and found the throne. And she got me. Yeah. So she found the throne and I was like, it was such a sentimental thing because it shows that she understood the space that I'm in and what I'm into. And it's always good to have that. It's always good to have a person who understands your vision, supports your vision. They don't look at you weird because this is who you are. And they're more accepting. And through her and through our relationship, it's caused other people to be more accepting of us as a couple, but also what I do. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's the love language.
Yeah.
And for those out there that don't understand it, I'll put it into I just go back to some of my fondest memories, and a lot of my fondest memories come around my grandmother. She's just a hell of a person, hell of a woman. And when I started going up there regularly and playing games, she would have the little mini refrigerator stocked with Capri Suns, little apple juice drinks, have chips and, cut out the little Sakatumi cakes and have them ready, bro. She just knew me, learned me, understood me in a way that just like, there was never any question about if this person loved me. There was never a doubt. And she never allowed there to be any doubt. You know what I mean? Like it was from day one. And I know those things it's tough for people to, try to get out there and try to replicate that or find that for themselves. But honestly, man, I always believe in this. If you are putting out the best of yourself in the spaces that you go and you live in, you work in, you will attract that same type of energy. Whether that is in a friend or a significant other, you will attract that energy.
And you know what? And it goes to saying, when you accept first, like you said, accept who you are.
Yes.
And don't hide those things. Because if that person truly loves you, they're going to accept the quirkiness, the things that you are basically into, and they accept you even more when you're honest about it. You don't hide it. Yeah,
be unapologetically you.
Yeah,
be unapologetically you, man. Don't ever have to explain who you are or try to feel like have to explain why you're into something, why you like it.
And that's when you get into this defense mode, and you know you don't want to be in that. You want to always be a point of advantage. You want to always feel like I'm prideful about what I'm doing. This is me. Like it or leave it. Like that's it, bro. You
That's it,
cannot
bro.
try to, you know, give your energy. Stop. And this is something I need to learn continuously. Stop giving your energy to people who are not willing to take it in.
Yeah, bro.
You got to stop. You have a battery and it's only a limited amount of energy in there. We have to sleep every night in order to get that energy back. So we have to stop putting that energy into people who are not investing into us, man.
And that, bro, that goes without saying, not just our significant others, but our surroundings of individuals that we allow in our space, because it's not always a good thing. Some people, and we know that in this space that we're in, you know, even basically offline, you know, away from collecting. There's a lot of people that are opportunists in your life. They feed off of your life force. They see you doing what it is that you're supposed to do, and that you've been led to do, and they see how successful you are. And they feed off of that. They basically lynch off of that until they get enough of it to say, you know what, I have what I need. Let me move on to the next. And sometimes you allow it. You allow that to basically happen. You have to be a good judge of character. We are nice at heart. We are welcoming individuals. The problem is right now is that we don't realize that everybody has a purpose, but my purpose may not be your purpose.
Right.
The way I conduct myself, you're not going to conduct yourself the same way. My ideas aren't your ideas. And even if you take those ideas, you might not actually perfect it, or you might not you might not actually handle it, or, you know, compartmentalize it the way I do. You know what I mean? So again, it's welcoming in, like you said, the right energy and not falsehood. We've all dealt with that, bro. We deal with that in community. We deal that in life in general, outside. People who even see you in a successful relationship, they feed off of that. So sometimes they, you know, I firmly believe in that misery loves company type of situation.
Yeah, man.
That's just how it is. Misery, and I tell people this all the time. I say this in this community. We've dealt with that for the last couple of days. Like, for instance, we talked about that Han Solo situation. I don't want to bring that up, but I will. We talk about it basically, but here's the thing. It's been as divisive, but it's brought in, I've seen some evil in people, bro, because of it. I've seen some really, like, I've seen some things, and I'm like, you know what? We're going to have differences of opinion. I understand that. But, you know, at the same time, it's not really gauging and attacking individuals for their opinions, and showing me, when you show me who you really are, I distance myself from you, bro. And it's like, I have to, I really, really have to, because I have to kind of safeguard my space. I think we all do. We have to safeguard our space
aggressively. You have to I always say this sentence. You have to aggressively seek peace.
Yeah,
especially in today's.
You do.
I know that kind of like sounds like a weird and, like, I don't know, like a juxtaposition, if you will, but like, you have to aggressively seek the peace that you want. There are things called mindfulness, meditation. These are things that I think some of us already practice, most likely. Just knowing the percentages and the numbers is most likely one of us or a couple of us practice that daily. Or some sort of ritualistic routine. But there are things like that and stress management that allows us to kind of work through those processes of letting, you know, some of these social circles go, right? Letting those things kind of, you know, drift off into the ether while we continue to make progress towards the things we truly want, the energy that we truly want to be around. And those things are difficult. There's a difficult process because you might like that social circle. You might like those people that are in your life. But at the end of the day, you have to understand, are they filling your cup, or are they sipping from your cup?
Exactly.
Because there's only so much Kool-Aid. There's so much water you have in your cup to spread around. You have yourself, that's a cup. you have either school or your job, that's a cup. You got your friends, that's a cup, and then you have your family,
and
that's a
yeah,
whole other cup.
that's a
Then you
whole
only have so many limited amount of fluid of liquid to pour into. Choose wisely.
exactly. Okay, so Renz Talentino said Valkyrie just posted just now, bro.
Uh-huh.
Renz Talentino said Valkyrie just posted right
Yeah,
now.
I was looking and seeing. Yeah, so they took her off. I saw it. I saw it as it came through this morning, and it went away when I
And then
was.
they posted it again.
Oh,
It went
see.
away. So now it's up. It's definitely up again. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. We weren't even supposed to talk about this, bro. It wasn't even meant to talk about it, but it just posted again. But this also goes back to what Lumi was saying, because she said that people were charged against this figure earlier. Like people were talking down on this figure earlier. So it is back up. We have Valkyrie.
I saw some people like in the comments there saying like, doesn't look anything like Tessa, and I'm like, I think that's a stretch. Like I could see
What?
from certain angles, I see like right there. That's Tessa. That's
Yeah,
Tessa Thompson.
it's Tessa Thompson, bro. Like I see Tessa all day. Look at that.
Yeah, and she kind of lost some. Now I was thinking about it. She lost some weight for this role. Like she kind of
Yeah,
toned up.
she
She
did.
was thicker in Creed, but for this role, she toned up and lost some weight.
She worked out a lot because she knew it was,
Yeah,
she toned up a lot for this more than, so we seen her tone up for this. The difference between this and also Ragnarok. This is a totally different version. You know what I mean? So she definitely got more toned, even from Endgame, more toned. You know what I mean? So yeah, you can definitely.
I think what happened is that the head, first of all, the body like neck portion right there is not full enough to really sell you on that head has a neck. Like the neck almost disappears behind the sculpt, almost like the sculpt just sitting on, just floating on top of the shoulders. It gives it that bobbleheadish type look. And then I think her face is a little bit more full than it should be. Like her face in real life, Tessa Thompson's face is a little bit more contoured.
Yeah.
So I think that was something that maybe that was just the translation or that deviation from the prototype is what we got here. And then the last thing, honestly, outside of that is they did the Scarlet Witch Wanda situation. The reason why I got mine body swap, but that one was like you still had the cape that you could put over the shoulders and you could hide it. This one you cannot.
You can't hide it. You can't disguise that. So and the thing is, luckily enough, and Lumia tell you, like with Fison now releasing more pigmented oriented characters or figures where it's darker tones, darker shadings, more tan. You can probably pick up a Fison body, but I'm not skilled. I'll just tell you that right now. I'm not skilled with removing anything and sewing it back up. I'm afraid of that. On top of that, with the Fison bodies, with the neck, it always becomes an issue. If you don't have the right post for the actual neck or neck, it just doesn't work the right way. I think again, bro, for people to say that this isn't Tessa Thompson, like, what are you looking at, honestly?
That's what I've been trying to figure out. I was like, okay, like to say it doesn't look like her at all is like that's hyperbole, bro. That's straight up hyperbole. Like you just overreacting at this point.
Yeah.
No, to say they got it, they missed it, all right, we can have that conversation for sure. That's more reasonable. But I see Tessa Thompson. Like
I see her all day, bro. I
definitely
see her all
really
day.
what it is, and this is why we're having this conversation. It is, I think some people are very unhappy.
Bro, extremely unhappy. And somebody said it earlier. It's like, yo, people complain about figures that they have no intentions on buying in general. They have no intentions on doing it. And it's always a complaint about every single figure that drops. But this goes, it kind of goes into the discussion that we're having. Like, bro, and you kind of hit the nail on the coffin right there. Was like, yo, people generally, there are certain individuals that just aren't happy with who they are and secure with who they are, and they're dealing with things on such a personal level that anything else outside of it that brings another person joy, no, you can't be happy if I'm unhappy.
Yeah, the
I don't want
misery
you to be
needs
happy.
company.
I need you to be as miserable as I am. I need you to feel me on this. You
Hmm.
need to be as miserable as I am in the moment. Until I come out of this, I need everybody to feel that misery. It's sort of like an envy type of situation when someone else is happy from something. You know what I mean? At that point.
Yeah, and I felt that the night of the Toby release was like people weren't rejoicing that people finally got that third and final Spider-Man from the film,
Mhm,
but we were more focused on what they didn't get right. You know what I
mhm,
mean? And
mhm.
sometimes when we have that conversation, and I put that on all every single one of us that got on camera that week,
Yeah.
um, we mustn't lose sight of, you know, what it really truly means to collect this stuff,
Mhm.
and what we should be focused
All
about. It's
victims
the
of it.
fun.
Yep.
It should be always about the fun,
Mhm,
right? Critiquing is critiquing, but sometimes we take it to a whole nother level, you know.
mhm, mhm.
And I'm glad that I'm now starting to follow like sculptors, actual employees of Hot Toys, so I can see the other side. There's human beings that make this stuff, you know, and they're artists. They're also some of the most, you know, I want to say this with the utmost like respect. They're some of the most sensitive beings. They have to be sensitive so they can take in this art. That's I went to school with I and also was roommates with musicians and artsy fartsy kinds of all the like, and they take in the world differently. And they are
Yeah.
sensitive to all of the
They're
different things
sensitive about
around
what it
them.
is they do, because the thing is, when you're an artist, and anyone who is an artist, in from every facet, whether you're an art on paper, if you're an artist when it comes to if you're a musician,
Mm-hmm.
art on canvas, or if you're a creator, or whatever it is, it's lonely because in the sense you're working on a certain level of perfection that, again, you're not complacent in the space that you're in. You're always thriving to make it better. It becomes a lonely space. So if you're working really hard to accomplish something and you get critiques from individuals, it kind of like puts you in that space like, am I really, really good enough? You
Mm-hmm.
know, am I good enough? Or I put my all into this. Some
You
people
know,
get
you
defensive.
have that, right? You
Yeah,
have that side of it.
yeah,
And then we also have a validity to critique them for the price point that they asked from us.
yeah.
Like they're what we've always and what Leo's always tried to preach, even before I got on streaming with him, is there both can be true.
Mhm.
And we should all be smart enough to understand that concept.
Yeah.
I think my folks in there watching the game, they screaming. But we should be conscientious of that happening, but
Mhm,
also understand what how to say it, how to get there, right? How
mhm.
to get them to understand that, listen, I'm not vibing with this. Maybe this could be better, or this could be better.
Yeah.
Hopefully going forward, I'm not interested in this product, but hopefully going forward, things
Mhm,
can change. There
mhm.
is a way to constructively do it. For anybody who's an educator out there, the worst thing that you can do to individual, whether that's an adult or a child, is to say, "Oh, this shit is trash.
Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
terrible."
yeah,
Do you want that person to be better? Do you like this person? Do you like this company? Do you like their products? Do you want them to be better?
yeah.
Constructive criticism is the only way to go about it. To
Exactly.
sit there and scream like children, if you will, like
Yeah,
children,
yeah.
um, it is unbecoming, right?
It's very unbecoming, bro. And the thing is, it's like you said, being constructive
Mhm.
is completely, it is a far completely different side of a triangle from being toxic.
Yeah.
People don't like the word, but
Mhm.
it's the truth. Because if you're charging a person and you're charging a person's family, you're charging a person's character, you're saying so much hateful things about something just because it hasn't reached a level that gives you a certain level of validation or that makes you feel better, like, or satisfaction. Like, bro, literally, like, to say, okay, I don't like this figure because, or the figure looks good, but it could be better if you did this or if they did that. Very constructive. Totally different tone.
And you're saying the exact thing that you wanted to get across.
Exactly.
It's not being soft on them.
Yeah.
It's not being sweet on them.
Nah.
But this is, do you want your words to be effectively be heard, understood, and then taken to be taken seriously?
Yeah.
Then this is the pathways that adults use in order to communicate with people. That doesn't happen, and that those are terrible teachers if they do, but that doesn't happen in modern day classrooms. And that is something that people who are actually passionate about education that are taught and trained to do, to say, hey, we need to find a different way to encourage individuals to do better. Right? Always, it needs to be some sort of positivity met with reinforcement, right? Not being soft, but it's just a way to communicate with people, and communicate with companies that, again, we can get the best out of what we can get the best out of what we want.
Yeah. That's
give me 1 second, bro. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Like, and what you're saying is definitely true. To get what we want, people don't need to address the situation. We don't want people, like, as content creators, we're not telling you that you can't have opinions, because it's best to have an opinion. And we know that opinions get the ball rolling. We know that the opinions that we provide to some of these manufacturers, to these companies who provide us with these 6 scale figures or these collectibles that we're interested in, we want them to succeed. You have your InArts, you have your J&D that's now in the fray, you have your So Toys, you have your Mars Toys, you have your present toys, you know what I mean, you have your Toys Era, you have all these particular companies out there, that provide collectibles, whether you're a statue collector, or you have these companies out there. Our way of expressing things, and wanting to get quality from these particular companies is, number one, having a conversation and pushing the conversation forward constructively. We're not here to say that your opinion is invalidated. It's a different thing. And I had this because I was, talking to somebody about this earlier. They was like, well, you went on a rant because, no, I didn't go on a rant because the person had an opinion. I go on a rant when people basically use negative intentions for clickbait. That's when I go on a rant, because you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're also doing the community a disservice, because then it becomes divisive. You're creating an atmosphere.
Listen, it's happening on all different fronts. You have people who love the rage bait. They flock to people who provide that for them. And they may perceive that as their truth. But honestly, from just objectively looking at it, I don't see how that doesn't drain you. Like, being in that position, right? Like, we talk about it. There is a stream that's probably going on right now hating on Disney.
Yeah.
Right now as we speak, right? Talking about how Disney, MCU, and all of this stuff is trash, right? Like, the stuff makes money, but it's like, how do we not drain and tire of this stuff?
Yeah.
How do we not find a way to try to switch the conversation, right?
And it becomes like, I sometimes wonder if the people who are doing this see that it is becoming repetitive jargon, recycled. Like, you're doing this constantly, so then you're known as that person. So then, in most cases, you're even exposing yourself for who you really are.
There's so much hate out here, Leo, that the hate is predictable. It's like y'all ain't even switching up the hate anymore. The hate is so predictable. It's just like, wait for it. Here it comes.
Yep.
Right.
It's predictable. You know when it's coming. You know, basically, if as soon as I see your thumbnail, or if I get a notification, if I follow your channel and I get a notification, then I'm like, okay, I already know what to expect. I already know how it's going to come across. And if you're part of like these different forums, especially if you're, all of us, we're Hot Toys collectors, bro. So of course, the first source of information is going to be hitting that, especially because it's not like Hot Toys basically has their own YouTube channel. No, your source is to either go to Facebook or Instagram. So you know that when a post goes up with a brand new figure, you already know that the conversation now, and we come to expect that the conversation is going to be divisive. Yeah. Now, my thing is, how does that look to someone who is coming into this collecting community for the very first time? What does that say about us? And you can't say, oh, no, they can get over it, have a thick skin, tough love. No, you have to look at it from a certain aspect. People are coming into this community again because they're dealing with shit on the outside. Number one, not everybody, but most of them are looking for an escape. This is definitely escape for a lot of people. Literally. So when you're coming into this community a way that it's just completely negative, or if you're providing negative, conversations to people who are just coming into this community looking for that escape, what does it say about the community, bro? Like, and it is basically us that are content creators. It is our job to provide, to number one, be honest, completely transparent, but at the same time, again, create safe spaces. Not everything is safe, bro. It's not. Before we actually move on, we got my man Cal coming in here. What's going on with you, brother?
They still at it, huh?
What's up? You already know, bro.
What's going on, guys?
It's not ending. It's never ending, bro. It's a never ending thing. Valkyrie's up, and I guarantee you, I haven't looked at the comments yet, but I can almost
it's like some people saw that post go up and they started cutting holes out of pillowcases.
Yep.
It's like, damn.
Damn.
Already.
Like, that is really, I already know Facebook was already a cesspit. When I first heard that, like, a lot of information goes on Facebook, I was like, damn, I thought I escaped that.
Yeah.
I had made one and I was like, I'm good,
Yeah.
I did my thing when I was a kid, but, got on Twitter, like I told y'all, MC Hammer and the Megan Good story. And after that, I was on Twitter for good, baby. I think I'm about retired from Twitter because I don't barely go on that thing anymore.
You mean X now?
Yeah,
I say, right. Isn't it X?
Yeah. I'm over here using terms that are outdated. Sorry.
Yeah, it's X now. You know what? I've never been on Twitter, bro. Like, I've never gone, honestly. And I say this,
it used to be so good. Like,
and this is from somebody
5 years ago.
Twitter page. I don't go on Twitter because everything that I populate, that I post on Instagram, goes straight to Twitter. So I don't have to. So I'm not on there to see the jargon back and forth from people that are disagreeing and stuff like that. I don't see it.
If I was rich, man, I wouldn't read no fucking comments. Y'all would, I wouldn't see shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a cesspit. It's nothing but a cesspit.
Yeah.
It gives people who, Twitter's a cesspool because now, it's crazy. You can actually make money, not a whole lot of money. It's actually comical how the amount of money you can actually make off of just like a tweet, especially a tweet that has a lot of engagement. So what you see on Twitter nowadays is a lot of like bait tweets. Like, I'll say a tweet like, man, Tom Holland's trash. Like, man, Toby and Andrew really showed him up, right? And then I'm gonna get all those kids that was born after 2003. They're gonna come into my comments and they're gonna be in there slandering me, and I'm getting all this engagement for $40.
Yep.
For $40.
Yep.
Okay. So that's how like vapid and how dilapidated some of these people's brains have become over time, especially on some of these apps. So Facebook don't, it don't surprise me the least. I just hate that they use Facebook for this stuff. They should just just drop it on Instagram. Don't drop it on Facebook, man.
Yeah.
It's trash app.
Yeah. It's again, bro, like it's people nowadays are becoming more accustomed. And here's the thing. When you call people out on it, the first thing people say, and they can't say that they don't, oh, you're just mad because people don't agree with you. Or you're mad because people don't align themselves with your opinion. No, I can care less because I want you to actually have an opinion. If we all agreed on the same shit, how is the ball rolling? How are we innovating? How are we pushing that needle forward if we agree on the same things? There's no back and forth jargon. This world, this entire planet was founded off of opinions. It was developed off of opinions. So it's good to have opinions. Opinions aren't the problem. The problem is when you're using opinions to attack and to gain notoriety or to gain a level of attention. That's the problem I have. I can care less if people align themselves because my opinion is going to validate my stance on this. I don't care about what I love it, and I'm going to stand on that hill. I'm not telling you. And even when we were talking about Han Solo, bro, wasn't complaining about the opinions. It's the simple fact that number one, people are getting things that they ask for, and then when they get it, they complain about it and they don't want it, or they're saying, "No, I never wanted that in the first." Yes, you did. I heard you talking about it like months ago. You wanted that. You know what I mean? Like I wanted that. Why are you releasing figures that nobody wants? And that's another thing. Why are you releasing figures that nobody wants? You may not want it, but there are people out there that
that's that sweeping generalization that at the very least just tells me, that notifies me that this person is just mentally lazy in this moment, or there might be something else wrong with this person, because you have to take the time, right? That's something that I always say, is that we got to take more time to understand. Like, we try to like come up with opinions and this flash. Why? Take the time. Take your time, right?
Yeah.
When I see stuff late at night, I look at it, and then I'll form an opinion somewhat. Sleep, wake up, look at it again, start to talk again, right? And then you gotta take multiple looks at things. So life should always be thorough in your approach to things. Why has it got to be like instant? I gotta come up with this, and then I gotta try to impress other men, not women, other men with my opinions. Like, I don't understand that. It's just kind of just weird, and
it is, bro.
It makes us all look like, oh, I don't even want to be in a room with them. There are communities out here much larger than ours that are like stigmatized, like, don't go over there. You know what I mean? Don't even, if you're a girl, don't even go over there. If you're a woman, don't even spend your time,
bro. And you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up too, bro, because I saw on somebody's platform, not going to name it, somebody's group. I don't even think they have the group anymore because I think they took it down. But a female had an opinion about, or she was looking forward to a figure. And I literally saw somebody in the comments say, "What are you doing here? I never thought women collect."
Yeah.
What a God.
I'm like,
I saw that.
That was said live or within text?
That was said in the chat, or not the chat, but on the post,
comments,
in the group, in the comments.
Wow.
What are you doing here? I didn't think women collect. So
we'll be back in the 50s.
Automatically right there, bro. Just that statement right there. And the thing is, people they need to learn to have filters, because obviously you don't know how to communicate. When you say shit like that, bro, it's like, number one, your perception of that person has already been formed, and you don't even know them. And it might be gazed off of your way of thinking, and possibly how you've been raised.
Mentally,
for what?
At the very least, mentally lazy, and at the very maximum, prejudice, right? Racist, right? Like, those are two things. It's really not much in the middle of that, right? You can really say in the middle is just pure ignorance. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
You know, but it's usually those two extremes.
Yeah.
I'm mentally lazy. I didn't want to take the time to get to know you,
Yeah.
fearful of you for whatever reason, or I just don't like, you know, how you present it.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, it's like, yo, like, since when? Here's the thing. I know I'm not a gatekeeper, bro. I know none of us come into this to be gatekeepers because we want to welcome as many people as we can. That's the only way for this community to grow.
Mm-hmm.
This community advances because, again, we spread the word. We bring more people in. We welcome these individuals in selectively into a group. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, Machiavelli, we talked about it already, man.
We talked about it, bro. I'm gonna actually, so as a matter of fact, Machiavelli, I'm gonna actually go in. I'm gonna probably talk about it more tonight. I'm doing a corner at 11:30 p.m. So I'll be talking about it later on. I already put the thumbnail up. Everybody, I'll be talking about Valkyrie more so in detail on an episode of the corner tonight, 11:30. I'm not doing it tomorrow morning. I'm doing it tonight at 11:30 p.m. So if you want to watch, if you're up, if you're still around, if you want to hear me talk, because I got this show, after this one I got comic book talk with friends, and after that take a break, go straight to do that. So again, it's been a busy night for me, but I want to get this stuff out. So definitely we'll talk about that later, man. Thank you for and everybody out there who gave the information. We talked about that, which got us into this discussion here because it's a huge thing. My wife collects too. She would take huge offense to that. She probably got more figures than most collectors. Yeah, bro. People don't get that. My baby sister's in here right now. Nilda has a lot of figures in here. She has a lot of figures in her collection, more than Luminar, the matriarch of Figure Flex Friday, has a lot of figures, and her presentation is exquisite. Day in and day out, each and every week. So,
and we want them not to only exist and coexist with us in this. We want them to be able to stand right beside us, and we want to champion our female collectors because we know that there's a stigma. We know that it's probably for getting into this stuff, it might be even more of a mental exercise for them to say, you know what, I'll do it. You know what, this is who I am. You know, it might be a little harder for them to accept. I don't know. I'm not a female. I can't speak on their behalf. But what I do know is that I want to do the best that I can. I got females, I got nieces, I got, you know what I'm saying? I got real friends that are female in my life, and women, real women in my life. And I want to preach this. I want to make sure that they have a space that they feel comfortable. And if they don't, then where we got to pull up to. That is simple. What we got to do?
Comfortable. What do we have to do to make you feel that level of comfort? My girl, bro, bought her first figure like last year. She got the armor. That was her first figure that she basically purchased that she wanted. And the thing is, I applauded. I was basically behind her the entire way. As a matter of fact, it's down here because she didn't got a space to put it, so I put it in my, you know what I mean. But whenever she wants it back, Cal, don't be laughing. Whenever she wants it back, she can take it back and put whatever she wants. But she brought it down here. She's the one who wanted me to put it in the display until she's able to find a place to put it. So when she wants it back, she can take it back. Right now, it's occupying the space. So, you know, it is what it is. But women collect, bro. Women, there's women collectors in this community, bro. Go ahead, Cal.
Mine doesn't collect figures, but I mean, she collects plenty of shit.
Yeah,
shoes,
right.
Purses. I mean, she has a whole damn Bath and Body Works store in her room. So
there's like big Star Wars influencers that I see all on Instagram. They got hot toys in there, but they're not. You don't see them, you know, prevalent, you know, in our community, or we don't see them like that. There's plenty of people that buy Hot Toys products, but they're not just, you know, sitting there over analyzing every release. And I think that is a blessing and a curse.
You like the figure or you don't like the figure.
Yeah.
Buy it, don't buy it. It ain't serious.
Right, bro.
You're right. It's at the end of the day, it's just some plastic, bro. Like,
yeah. At the end of the day, bro, it's plastic. It's not something that, it's not like you have this actor in front. That's the thing, bro. Like, not everything is good. I live my life by, there is no level of perfection, bro. There is no such thing as perfection. The things that we think are perfection aren't perfect.
We be wanting Hot Toys to be perfect, but none of us be perfect at our jobs.
Nope.
Some of us be going 0 for at the job.
Yeah, bro.
And but we want Hot Toys to be perfect.
We want them to be
Bro,
perfect, but we're not perfect in our own lives.
Some of us get our ass kicked at work.
Yep.
And I say that I'm speaking from my own experience. Dealing with kids, you often get your ass kicked. Okay.
Yeah.
That is education will humble you quick. And so some of us, we get our ass kicked at work, but we want perfection from our sports teams. We want perfection from everything else in our life. We want them to be perfect. But yet we aren't.
For the amount of money that these men make as athletes and as a job to just work out and go catch a ball or shoot a ball, I want your ass to be perfect. Especially when the game's on the line, make that shot, goddamn.
But you understand those are human beings in those elements.
I'm just being facetious.
On Sunday, it's supposed to be perfect.
Make that shit
definitely.
Happen.
Yeah, that team expected a level of perfection from you when they gave you that $1 billion contract, or what I mean, that $1 million contract. So they expected the level of perfection, but at the same time, they say, you know what? We know you're gonna be off, but not off every night. You gotta be perfect at certain times. But here's the thing, bro. Hot Toys isn't a sports team. They're not. They're figure. Howard Chan.
They are a toy cartel. We gotta relax.
Truth be told, we don't know who's making these figures.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know who's making it. We know who does the first prototype.
Yeah.
That he shows off. After that, we don't know what assembly line they're going down.
Yeah. These are real people
they're working in to make it happen.
Exactly. And we have people who often joke about those conditions, but those conditions are real. And we want perfection, but these people might be going through crunch. Same thing with movies and video games. Some of these things are going through crunch. These developers getting laid off. But we talking about this game sucks. This, that is, why do developers do that? Don't take your ire to the developers. Talk about the damn producers.
Yeah.
The managers.
Facts.
Right. The investors.
In fact,
those are the ones that drop the ball. Right. The developers, all they do is what they're told to do.
Yeah.
There's a vision already set out for them, and then they go and achieve it.
Yep. Facts. That's just how it works. And I think that's how we have to see it, bro. Like, again, I'm not here to steer anybody in a certain direction, nor would I want them to do that to me. But my thing is, my whole objective at creating this particular space was to create a safe environment where opinions are allowed. You are allowed to basically have an opinion, but my objective is never to divide. It's to create a space for individuals who deal with things in life, that require an outlet, require a space where they can sit back and hear people talk in confidence about the things that they love, and they can share in fellowship. My job is not to create an entire thumbnail about a figure that I hate and then talk about that and then gaslight shit. That's not my job. That's never my job. That's not the space that I live in. That's not how I was basically raised. We might, jig and laugh and rib each other every now and then. It's all in fun, but we're all basically, we love these things. Even when we talk about, like, I ain't getting that shit. We can say I ain't getting that shit, but it's not to take away from the figure. It's not saying that the figure ain't incredible. It's just not part of it.
We are not sitting here saying, man, this shit trash. Yeah. You know what I mean?
We're not saying that.
That's reductive. What up, Nick?
Exactly.
What up, my dude?
What's going on, Nick? My man, Nick. What's going on with you, buddy boy?
But, what's up, like, there's people out there that was just like slamming the damn, Spider-Man figure. Just slamming it, bro. Yeah. I'm like, I'm ordering. I'm like, well, that's your loss, bro. Yeah. I couldn't even fathom, like, saying, let me cancel my purchase. Are you crazy?
Here's the thing, bro. I just don't like the Mickey Mouse hands, but I'm still getting that shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Are you fucking out your mind?
Yeah, I don't.
You gonna get that Thunder toys?
Here's the thing.
That's what you gonna do? No, come on.
Here's the thing, though. I talk about the Mickey Mouse hands, but that Andrew Garfield has presence in my display with my Electro. So it's dope in that aspect of it. I cannot wait to get my Tobey Maguire. I definitely want that. He said, he said, lay on the hands are better in person.
Yeah, they
well,
always are.
Here's the thing, bro. I have, and this is why I say this too, and we keep harping on this. Get the shit in person, get it in hand first, and you'll see. So they're not as bad. They're still there, but I think what heightened that was the photos. That's what basically created the photos that we saw. And it's not to knock even like the blogger photos. It's just sometimes scale back on those filters or hide them hands a certain way that they don't basically just, it's not like an eyesore at that point. But still, regardless, I'm getting the figure. I'm getting it.
We just need to slow our roll when we look at this stuff. Yeah. And I know a lot of us out there are really excited. We're on to the next thing. And we were having this similar conversation yesterday. And it's like, we have to slow down when we get the pieces. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I always say, man, get your piece in, unbox it, start put it in a photo shoot, start taking photos. That's what I do on my Instagram. When I bring in figures, it's almost like introducing them to the collection. I say introducing, and I talk a little bit about the figure, maybe what I like about it, and keep it pushing, right? Taking different photos, different types of lighting and stuff like that. Just in photography itself is really cool.
Figure Craft said, like Rob Liefeld hiding his feet in his comics. You already know he can't draw feet and hands, bro.
He never could draw.
He never could. We got Windman 42 saying Thunder Toys, LOL. I got 2 Spider-Man or Spideys from Thunder Toys, and I like them a lot. He said, I really like them. They ain't Hot Toys quality, but they stand proud on my shelves, LOL.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, Windman. It's like, are you going to pick that over the Hot Toys version? Like, really? Come on, like that. I think that stuff is that's crazy. That's
but you know what? Here's the thing, bro. And the example of that, Calvin, you can attest to it. And even my man Austin Nicholas can attest to it. That Premier Toys blade. Oh my god, bro. Look at
I'm looking at it on the shelf like,
bro, that Premier Toys blade is special. I'm telling you, it is special. Yeah, that Premier Toys blade is special, bro. It is. I am not gonna lie. I'm not here. It is special.
You know what? I wanted to share because I did have a PowerPoint from work, but I wanted to share just a little bit with you guys about something that's called, self-talk. And, you might know it, you might already understand it, but it's basically internal dialogue, right? It's like that endless stream of like unspoken thoughts that run through your head every day. Like the inner voice reveals your beliefs, thoughts, questions, and ideas. And sometimes, for me, a part of like just having good positive mental health is dealing with the negative self-talk that I have, and sometimes when I achieve something or I do something, I hear negative self-talk. It's like, that wasn't good enough, or you can do that better, or somebody's probably already done that better. It's reductive. And so when you guys are out there collecting, pay attention if you have internal dialogue, because here the percentages are rough, like 30 to 50% of people around that range actually have internal dialogue, like they hear themselves thinking and thinking through situations.
I'm always in my head.
Yeah, so some people don't have that. Some people just hear phrases, or they, it's really kind of just
definitely
flatline there. So use positive self-talk out there. And this is a form of mindfulness where you can again aggressively seek peace, right? I always like to use a recontextualization, right? Of remembering the things that I have achieved, the places that I have been, the places I've come from, right? Where I've started, right? Recontextualizing your life in those moments where you're feeling stressed out or you're feeling uncertain about what step to take forward allows you to understand how powerful you truly are as a person, and allows you to take that next leap or that step forward. So again, just positive self-talk and just recontextualize who you are, man, where you've been, right? Especially even with your collection. Man, I remember when I had 5 figures. Now I have, right? Recontextualization really helps.
And also celebrate the wins.
Yes.
Celebrate the wins.
Savor
Because
them.
the thing is, we spend too much time talking about the things that we don't have and the things that we embellish too much of the negative on the things that we don't. Think about the things that you have accomplished in your life, those small steps, those small things. Whether if you've traveled to another country, you've accomplished things that maybe a large percent of individuals have never accomplished before. You know what I mean? If you've created something, if you created a YouTube page, if you're a content creator, you've created a space and created something for yourself that not too many people can say that they've done.
Mm-hmm.
If you got out of bed, walked downstairs, walked outside, and you can go for a run, at least a 2-mile run, you've accomplished things that nobody else has ever accomplished.
Whoa. 2
Celebrate.
2 miles. Sorry, I was a sprinter. I was from here to here real fast.
Right?
You started talking about mileage. I'm like, I was never a distance runner, but I hear what you're saying.
I'm a 5K runner, bro. That's just me. I do a 5K on a reg and just get outside. When I got my music in my ears, I'm good to go. Because that's what I'm basically doing, and I feel good doing it. But again, just celebrate the small wins. The small successes mean a lot. Don't get out here. And the thing is, the small success is just like when you get a box, you get a figure in your collection, you get a box at the front door. That's a win because it's something that you wanted. You bring it in, you unbox it, you smell the newness of that figure, you get it in your display, you admire it. That's a win. Who'd you get? What is that, bro? What is it?
He had that smile and the memes that you be getting.
Yeah, what is it, bro? What is it?
We saw all the gums on that one. Oh, he got Wolverine.
Yeah, same thing, bro. Same thing. Same thing.
La Wolverine.
This is the real one. This is the legit sticker.
Yeah, they send you that legit sticker. I got the same thing. We also tend to dwell on things we don't want to see, which is crazy because you have to know that someone is looking forward to those figures. Definitely.
You shouldn't be shitting on somebody else. If you don't enjoy, just let somebody else revel in their enjoyment.
Yeah.
Did you have to send a comment? Did you have to type that out? Like, I think that's wasted energy on your part. On you. You can better use that energy, take your hating ass self somewhere else, right?
The cold part is you could write the message all day long, but you can delete it. You don't have to hit send.
Right.
Get it out your system, and then just delete the shit off your screen.
No. That what it is that they need to inflict to others.
No, I get what it is, but I'm just saying you don't have to go through it if you feel the need to actually physically get it out.
There's notepads, there's paper, there's a pen. Lapis, la pluma, whatever you need, you can write it on something. And write it out, man. Use a journal.
Find another way to basically express your frustration instead of inviting that stuff in, or creating a negative spot for people who, don't really require that level of thinking in their space. Like, just find another way, bro. Like, just find ways to really express what it is that you don't like instead of just, you don't want that negative impression on yourself. You don't want people to see you that way. A lot of people have created that. You don't want that. You know what I mean? You definitely don't want that. You don't want that to carry over into everything that you do. If anything that I've learned from Toya, wake up with positive affirmation every single day, regardless of what that day, and what that day may bring, or you don't even know what that day may bring. You can't assume. Wake up with positive affirmation. It's going to be a good day. I'm going to feel good. Wake up with a smile, eat breakfast, watch something on TV, and then deal with your day. You never know how it's going to be. But if you wake up with that negative shroud around you, bro, that pressure on you, it's just like, yo, you're just negative, rude, because that's how people woke up on Friday when was that Friday morning when that Han dropped, negative all the way through.
See, I didn't see. The thing is, I'm glad I wasn't looking that way, because in my circles and around my people were celebrating. It felt like a Hot Toys holiday, And did you see me in the chat spreading it? It wasn't Spider-Man, it wasn't Marvel, right? Did you see me in there? I'm like, man, congrats, y'all. I was happy for everybody that really, people are buying 2 of them, people buying 3 of them. Like, I'm happy for that. I just want that same courtesy for when some Spider-Man shit drop, that you would kindly shut your mouth and your ass.
Bro,
because I don't want to hear Spider-Man. They're literally funding the company so that you can get the shit that you want. I'm sure that 8 of my Spider-Man paid for your fucking Predator figure. So let's show some respect for your father.
You ain't lying.
Damn.
Shit, I've deeply invested in the Spider-Man, so you ain't lying.
Yeah. I mean, I got a whole shroud over there, like a whole shrine dedicated to. It's in everything, bro. But here's the thing: we say that to also say that your opinions are valued as long as they're constructive. That's it.
Let's not be reductive. Let's be constructive.
Exactly.
Let's add let's add to it. What about this damn figure you think they could do better? Okay,
right.
Constructively. Let's do that so we can all move forward, because we're all just gonna be sitting here if we continue to just hate and like not give them constructive. We're all just gonna look like some Neanderthals collecting plastic.
What Illumia's like, Predator's like, why am I in this?
I get to I love Predator. I'm not the biggest fan going out, but like it's cool. I love that, and I'm glad people were asking for that. But you have to, what is their bread and butter? Iron Man, Spider-Man. Like, so let's kind of like shut the fuck up whenever they push that out, so that you guys can get the shit that you want. Like, that's what's funding them. Like, let's be smart about it. You know what I mean? Oh, the 80th Spider-Man. Why can't I get this movie from the 90s? That shit ain't selling, bro. It's not gonna sell. You gonna buy it, and then your homie gonna buy it. And that's gonna be 2 people out of millions that they're trying to get money from. Like, they're crunching dollars. They're crunching stuff, man.
Exactly. Anyway, we're going to end this here now. It was a great discussion. I had a great time, man. We're going to do this again. Like I said, it's a once a month thing where we actually have this discussion. It's always the therapy. Or let me know if y'all want us to do it twice a month. If you want us to make this like a thing because we have these discussions, it's fun and everybody joins in. Just let us know. Again, you can find these 2 guys on Say What Wednesday with me. You can find Calvin, or you can find Late Bloomer on with me on Figure Flex Friday. You can find Calvin with me on Sunday on Collectors Lounge International. So yeah, let us know what you think. If you want us to do this more often, more than once a month, let us know and we'll keep the ball rolling, because I think it's very helpful, a very good conversation. If you guys ever want to jump in and actually come live on with us and have a discussion, we welcome that, as long as it's this constructive. That's what it's all about on Collecting Therapy. Again, peace and love to everybody. God bless. I got to get out. I'm moving over to Comic Book Talk with Friends here in just a minute. I'm going to give me some water first, and then we're going to kind of make it do what it do. But yes, thank you guys for coming in for a great episode. Thank you guys for being here with us, man, and being here with me this evening. And yeah, definitely we'll do it again. Same time, another time. Y'all let us know when, and we are about that. So again, peace and love, everybody. See y'all again later on. We out.